What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, check out the entire episode at patreon.com/partywithstrategy. Every single week is a bonus episode. That's 4 episodes a month for $5. In a time where everything's overpriced, we're bringing back the clearance rack, baby. Let's go, champ. We'll see you over there. Enjoy the preview. Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast, Patreon episode, who knows? Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for supporting, subscribing, helping the kid out, showing some love, watching the extra content, taking it all in. We appreciate you over here. And, we're back. Another Monday in the books, another pod to get cooked. We had a classic beginning of the year, a classic first quarter bail, which is really all we've had since we've been back. And it's been the same guy twice in a row.
3 times.
3 times in a row, which is it's just 3 times for 2025. I mean, if we want to count in all of 2024, I'd say he's bailed about 7 or 8 times now in total. And normally, if you bail twice, you're kind of out. But this guy would be a fantastic podcast guest. And he's also like, I can't even really be mad at him because he's like a fucking asshole piece of shit. But that's him, you know?
It's on brand.
It's on brand. It's normal. He's never strayed away from it. So I'm like, I've accepted him for who he is. That's what growth is, right? You just accept people for who they are. You can't really get mad at them. You can't let them affect your feelings and get you riled up, because that's just a sign of being a young and unemotionally intelligent.
Sounds like a very toxic relationship.
Well, if I was fucking him, they'd be probably toxic, I bet. Sure, yeah. We could say that. But yeah, it's just one of those things you got to deal with. And luckily, we got a couple of episodes in the Biz Ank. I got a heavy episode coming out on Monday. Diamond Cut hasn't watched it yet. He may want to decide that it goes onto the Patreon just for safety's sake, because we did get a little crazy.
I think when I was scrolling through, the one part that I hear as I'm literally starting to scroll is, oh God, I don't know about this. This might have to go on the Patreon episode. And that's the only part for me, but like, all right, I'm going to watch this later.
We did get a little crazy. We were talking about black people and fried chicken, Jews and bacon.
All right.
It was getting a little nutty. Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. But let me start here with the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl performance, because Friday night at the club, I realized something. This whole race war that's been unfolding for the last, I don't know, since 2014, 15, 10 years now, I'd say.
Probably since like the Colin Kaepernick thing, probably.
This whole thing. Like when I was younger, I never felt like white people and black people were at each other's throats. I was always raised on like, be nice to everybody, treat everybody the same. It would be horrendous for you to look at a black person and treat them differently because of the way that they looked. I was raised that way, and I felt that my entire life. You know, I didn't grow up around a ton of black people. The only black family in Lincolnwood actually was my neighbor, lived on my street.
Which I think you brought up last time.
I've brought it up a couple times, and I'll continue to bring it up because I'm from the hood. And I just never felt tension. And maybe it's because I was young and couldn't even feel things like that in the room. I got to high school, and there was more black kids in my high school than there was in my junior high, because we then were integrated with Skokie, and Skokie, sometimes referred to as Scompton for these reasons, started seeing more black people. And even then, it was, I never, it was like, oh, okay, this is different. I'm seeing people
act different, talk different, be different.
I'm seeing a different culture. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what it was. It's like, all right, I'm getting introduced to a different culture, but it wasn't like, oh man, this is bad, or I got to stay away from this, or like, this is why this or that. Like, it wasn't a thing. But over the last 10 years, it's definitely been a thing. It's definitely been a thing. The air is thick. The tension is tight. It's a thing. And I hate it. So with Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance being what it was, which was like a message to the black community, and this thing that's, you go on the internet and it's like, yeah, that wasn't for you, talking about white people, that was for us, like this is our thing, you don't get it because you're not supposed to get it. It's just feeding into this whole tension. And I think that with that, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back for some people, majority of white people, I'd say, that they then were like, all right, that's fine, but like, Drake makes music for me.
Yeah.
Kendrick makes music for y'all. Drake makes music for everybody. So I'm going to get behind him. So this whole weekend, I really felt like I was getting requests from white people for Drake. Like,
the new album Drake, or like
no, not the new album.
Okay.
Just Drake in general. Just
right.
like
the motto,
whatever. Any Drake. It doesn't matter. The song doesn't matter. It's the fact that these people are feeling pushed away by Kendrick, and they're clinging to Drake for that reason. I think the whole beginning of the beef, everyone obviously knows Kendrick won. He defeated Drake. It's not even a question, right? But that doesn't mean that that you can't like Drake anymore or listen to Drake anymore. Like, fine, this guy won this battle, but like, this man has hits for the last 20 years that are never going anywhere. Everyone still loves him. He's an incredible artist. He makes fucking hit music that we play in the clubs night in and night out. And I think that white people are feeling pushed away by Kendrick Lamar with this whole thing of like
underlying messages and very, very poignant like lyrics.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is shitting on white people, and that's fine. If you feel that way and like you want to get that message across, that's completely fine. But you also have to realize what the wave is, what waves that's going to cause. And I think one of those waves is pushing people back towards Drake and his music that they love, where they don't feel excluded from it. And I really realized that over the weekend, because there was a lot of white people asking me for Drake, which was not something that was happening prior. Like, everyone wanted Not Like Us. Everyone, I remember I was specifically playing Drake records to a point where I got the club lit, and then I would drop Not Like Us just to kind of as a statement. And then I would try and go back into Drake as fast as possible. In the beginning, I was able to get back into Drake right after Not Like Us. Mm-hmm. And then as the song grew and grew and became more of a cultural phenomenon, it was harder to get back into Drake. I had to like stop trying that because I was just losing the room every time. Like, there was a real progression in how much that song mattered in a nightclub, at least. And I think now we're on the swing back. It swung all the way this way for Kendrick, and it was like, I don't even want to hear Drake right now because this motherfucker got murdered.
Yeah.
He's dead. Shouts to Long Drink for sponsoring the podcast. Absolutely the best cocktail you can get out there. That's exactly what it is. A cocktail in a can. It's not a seltzer. As you can tell, it's not one of those stupid, long, skinny cans that makes you look like an idiot stick when you're drinking it. This is good stuff. Anyone I give one of these to ask me what it is, where they can get it, and why they haven't had it before. I'm putting people on. You guys are next. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the program. Go to your local liquor store. Target's got them. Wherever you can. Grab a long drink today. Enjoy. Watch the pod. Let's get back to it. Thank you. I think he's definitely gonna put some shit out that'll hit because he's that guy.
He's
bro.
missed.
I mean,
miss
when
him.
on Friday night when this kid was asking me for Drake, he wanted Drake, and then the VIP host comes over and he's like, yo, if you play some Drake, this kid will buy bottles. And I was just in a good mood. And I was like, all right, yeah, the club wasn't that lit. I wasn't servicing a bunch of other people. This guy was lucky that he was one of very few people in there. So I was like, you know what? Kid wants to hear some Drake. How about I play all Drake? How about I just go in my search bar, put Drake, and literally go from fucking 60 BPMs all the way up to 140, back down to 70, Drake. And I did that. I just did that, and I was playing all these old records that I used to run in 2016 and 15 and fucking 2018. And like, the guy has, first of all these records are like from my heyday of DJing, my like becoming the DJ that I became, was playing most of these records, a lot of these records. So I know them really well. And like, I can fucking mix them like a motherfucker. And I was having fun doing that. And I was like, damn, I remember this joint. I remember playing this joint. It was like fun, nostalgic. And I just like realized that I think white people are a little upset with Kendrick right now.
Well, he has more. Chances are of you playing a more popular Drake song and that crowd knowing word for word is probably going to be more of a Drake thing than a Kendrick ever thing. Because, like, even then I was thinking, like, what's that song that he first had that, like, made it onto the Billboard? It's like pour up, drink, headshot, drink. What was that?
Yeah, fucking swimming pool.
Yeah, that one, I mean, is probably the last one, and then maybe Humble, like where they'll actually know the words. But dude, Drake, I hate to say it, but every album he puts out, he has like 2 or 3 songs that could just like carry on to the next 3 to 4 years.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Even, I feel like the Drake and Khaled track, you gotta pay for this dick, or whatever the fuck he says.
For free.
For free, yeah.
Yeah. It samples, what is it, Too Short?
Yeah. Blow the Whistle.
Yep.
That was one of those songs that got old kind of quick for me, and I'm like, all right, this is becoming something I can't play anymore. I feel corny playing it. It's played out. But I think now it's time to bring it back.
I play it.
Yeah, you still play it?
I still play it.
It hits. I mean, the track's fantastic. But that being said, that's my observation, and I think if you're listening to this and you're a DJ, I think you should fucking look out for that. See what's going on. See who's requesting Drake and why they want to hear it, and like it's a comfort thing. I think it was fun to ride the Kendrick train and be like, oh damn, he fucking shitted on Drake, and everyone yells out A minor, and like that's all fun and games. But the reality is, like, I think this dude is pushing away a huge audience of his, and I don't even think he really gives a fuck, because he's about the culture, and I respect the fuck out of that. You know what I mean? Like, I talked about it with Heavy. I didn't love the Super Bowl performance at first, surface level. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's boring. He's doing shit songs. I don't even like him as a rapper to begin with. Then you start to get on the internet and see, like, yes, he brought Serena out to Crip Walk because she got in trouble for Crip walking, and she used to date Drake, and like, there's layers to everything he does, and I'm like, all right, some of that's dope, and I love bucking the system, and I love not you know, someone who will go out there and do what they want and not just follow suit and be told what to do. I respect that. So like there's a lot of elements I do like after hearing about it, but the whole like, that wasn't for you, you don't get it, it's not for you shouldn't even be listening to his music because you don't get it, like that whole shit, eat a dick, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll hot take, but you know, a certain culture, any culture really, will do shit like that and be like, oh yeah, it's not for white people, don't even enjoy it, you're not allowed to enjoy it, and then like get mad when they're excluded from some shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, you started the exclusion at this point, you know. I mean, if we want to go back to the fucking 1800s, different story, but it's 2025. You're gonna fucking act like that and then expect to be treated fairly after? It's like, nah.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul, it'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.